Welcome. I'm going to show some tips with regards to Two Point Museum. When it comes to Two Point Museum, I'm first going to show my achievements with regards to the base game, having having 5 stars with every single mission in the campaign. I'm just going to show how it looks, just to get a bit of a view, and then we're going to discuss tips and some of the things that I do that helps me. So the first thing is there's a few different maps. So this is a map where all your missions is on all of the actual 2 point games. You get a map with all of your different hospitals, all of your different museums, all of your different then in this specific one, you actually go out of a helicopter with regards to getting quests. Now in this specific one, this museum that I'm currently in, I didn't actually get to complete it, but in a different museum I did get to complete that specific task in order to unlock it. So you need to unlock certain tasks. You start out with 1 or 2, and then as you go on and you achieve certain goals, you can unlock more. Now what I do, the first step is with regards to what I do is when you see the survey level maximum quality grade. So I will now go and set up an expedition in order to get that to excellent. So it's average, and then great, and then epic, and then excellent, and then you get also expedition dilemmas. So expedition dilemmas, for instance, you pick one specific option and then something happens, something good or something bad. Now some of your specific staff can actually get illnesses or curses, but there is hospitals and so that can cure them. And also your own staff center, for instance, can, let's say like a disease or so, certain things your staff center will be able to cure. Okay, so one of the things that once you go to expedition, you can either get your normal stuff, normal museum stuff, or you get it also in your average grade and at your quality. So once you click on the actual item, you can then go ahead and for instance, you can see where you actually got it so that you can get a better quality. That helps me a lot. With regards to training, once you go, it's very important to think about all options, because you need to also consider that what do you need? So you need somebody to be able to survey, and you need somebody to be able to do it in a camera room. But also with regards to the others, like happy thoughts, for instance, that a person might not want to increase that much. You can also do your science, for instance, that you can get robots, and that's what I am currently doing. I'm trying to go into the science in order to get robots, the janitors and that, so that I can save at the end of the day, so that I don't need to hire more staff, that those bit of staff that is there can focus on certain tasks and the robots can focus on different tasks. It's the same as like your reception, why they buy tickets, and also with regards to your gift shop, you can get a automated kiosk in order to automate it so that there isn't necessarily assistant that much needed. Okay, so when it comes to the actual game itself, what I do is when my money gets tight, for instance, I go into multiple areas. So I go into science, I go into, let's say, the ancient, the dinosaurs, the aquarium, for instance. I go into different sorts, and then I try to get some people for that, so 1 or 2 of each, and then I go and I set those up so that there isn't just a normal one type of visitor coming in. There's multiple types of visitors coming in, multiple places that they can visit, so that it brings in more money. With regards to like fish and that, you can start out with the entry-level fishes and stuff just to get some money to get going. That also helps your museum rating. It helps different things. So that's what I'm doing here in order just to get my money up again. I'm trying to get a bit more aquarium going. I have already like your flowers and stuff going, your nature going, your plants, and I've also got a bit of science that I'm going to go into, different avenues. I'm currently placing it a bit mixed, but you'll see later on that I'm going to split it up into, I'm going to open a new section, and then as soon as I open a new section, I'm going to divide it into different sections for the different types. Yeah, so one thing is that I must say, these ghosts, the specific mission of the ghosts, you need to keep the ghosts happy. If the ghosts are not happy, they leave. So you'll see a lot of empty rooms. All those empty rooms, there was actually ghosts inside. Each and every one was actually done around a specific ghost. One thing that you also need to keep in mind that I sometimes forget to do, and my kudos, I hope I'm saying it correctly. Actually, I've got 1560 there at the top. So you unlock certain things that you can. You can either put some of them, like the trees and that, you can perhaps put outside, and some of the mats and all of that you can put inside. Now, stickers, once you actually go to expedition and you get something, get a sticker. And then as you go up and you reach excellent, you get the almost like the complete sticker. You'll see there's like a gold star type of thing on it. So those specific is the ones that I've got excellent for. The other ones that you see that doesn't have that square frame around is every single one that I still need to get the excellent for. So there's still a lot of room for improvement. I still need to go on a lot of expeditions and all of that. It's always nice to see that there's some that's missing. So there's still a few expeditions that I need to go on. And then of course there's some that I haven't done yet. And then of course there's the DLCs that I don't have. So the DLCs that also, for instance, has got tasks, and if you don't have the DLC, you can't do the tasks. I normally try to once, like in this specific case now, the aquarium, it was only one fish when I actually made it. But later on I got another one, and they actually got more. So you'll see there's like a pot that's turned upside down, and that is almost like a breeding center. Now with regard to that breeding center, they will then actually breed. So what you need to do is you need to get more plants and more aquarium utilities and stuff inside, and you also need to upgrade your filter. So they call it filter. You'll see their filter power. So every single plant so that you put in marine that you put in, that will actually add to the filter, and then that filter will actually then filter the water better. So it is my specific issue that I had is that in this case now I knew they were going to multiply and have, babies and all of that, but I didn't actually focus that much on getting it. So in this specific one, the specific level, there's certain tasks that you need to do in order to unlock a new expansion. So some of the expansions I've already accomplished the goals. I just need to pay in order to unlock it. Once you unlock it, there is those gates that appear, and then ghosts come out of it. You need to close it first, and then you can actually build your actual hospital. So I'm just showcasing where you actually go, just a bit of basics and a bit of going over basics and going over a bit more tips. So in the specific case now, you'll see I don't have that much money, so I'm actually going to build it, but in the same sense also I'm going to wait until I've got the actual money in order to complete it. There is this specific task, looks like a bit new because it's new. The specific one is rather new, so I added it, and then but the thing is that I can't always just send people out. You'll see there, for instance, they need to be level 10. They need this, study that. This is a new quest also. So it's two new things that I'm just showing off. Together with, of course, the new art specific one. But the art one, I don't have the art one. I just completed the first quest in the art. So here you'll see there's different tasks that you do and different things that you can get here at the bottom. So what I did now is, once again, like I mentioned, with the fish itself, the entry level, it costs like 3,000 or so. It's cost like next to nothing in order to get them. You get them, for instance, you put them in a nice big aquarium. In a nice big one, there's more than one that you can actually get in. You'll see now, you say place exhibit, and then you place it in. Need to make sure about the flake food and that. You'll see, of course, I'm busy with the new section. So like I've discussed previously, the specific rooms, for instance, now at the moment, there is the ghosts, there is plants, there is the ancient cave and the dinosaur, that type of things are all in one area. So my specific goal is, as soon as you see my cash is going up, so as soon as my cash has gone up, for instance, I expand and then I separate the items. So you'll see now where I just went crazy with regards to the floors. I must actually enjoy the idea of them separating the floors, because sometimes it's like, which floor do you take for which specific one? So I just took like, okay, it's going to be like a flower section, so I'm just going to put like, it's autumn and all of that, so let me put it in an autumn one. So in this specific case, you need to also pay very good attention, because it shows the icon as it's cold, so it needs to be warm. But in this case, I'm doing the opposite, because I see cold and I think, okay, it needs to be cold, but no, it's the opposite. So in that case, you need to go warm. So my idea with regard to this room is the warm plants, flowers and all of that on the one side, and the cold on the other side. So that's what I'm doing now. Also need to set up a specific, you'll see now, surveillance, because there's a lot of people that will actually try to steal, like Boogeymen and all of that actually tries to steal your stuff. So I'm trying to set up security. I'm trying to also then get all that going, and I need to also set through donation boxes. But once again, it all depends on as you go on. So as you go on, you'll see that there is, for instance, like now, for instance, I need to put up, for instance, the donation. Then I also need to put up some almost like decorations, and I need to put up, it's different things that I need to put up, and also information so that they know what it is specifically about. So my main focus first is just to relocate everything, and then I'll try to add all of the decorations and this and that. You'll see they talk about near a snowy rock. So if you go in there where I'm in now, you'll see that it looks like a frame. If you go in the frame, then you go into the actual nature tab, and then in that nature tab you'll see it. So there you'll see the warm by warm and the cold by cold. So I'm also you'll see there I'm splitting all of the flowers, nature flowers, the pots all by themselves, and then the others by themselves. So once again, like I mentioned, it's important to go and check a few avenues. So now I'm almost done with that, but once again I need to increase my buzz. So one thing about buzz is you'll see also some of those that I'm placing down is blue. So the blue means great. So I need to still try to get that up to excellent, because it needs to be yellow. So that also affects your buzz. And then you also need to see if you can get, it's almost like it looks like stars inside it. So when you actually go on one of those expeditions, you also get like an entertainment boosters. Now with the excellent, you can put in free boosters. So that's also what I need to do in this specific case. So I need to go out and get boosters. But my first mission in this case now is getting all of those up to excellent, and then almost up to excellent, and then also getting the actual boosters in order for the entertainment and the energy and the knowledge and all of that. So those boosters come in very handy. And also the excellent. So you'll see there with all the stars, you'll see some of them, they cap at a certain amount. Others, for instance, they can go a lot higher. So depending on level, depending on a few factors, that actually then impacts the actual stars, the knowledge, the decorations. So every single item has got needs that it needs to do. It's got also, for instance, that you need to place a humidifier close by in order to get humidity. Then you also need to put the heater or the actual freezer next to it. There you'll see, for instance, I'm putting up signs. I'm not picking up decorations. I need to still add the decorations. I haven't in this specific video placed up any decorations. Still need to do that. But you'll see with because this is a the spooky museum or the ghost museum. That's why there's already a lot of decorations for the ghosts. But I need to still, because I'm recently expanding with the actual flowers, the plants, and also with the science. So you'll see there isn't actually that much science decorations, and that's also why I'm splitting them up so that the plants can be with the plant decorations, science can be with science decorations, that it is a room by room. But once again, you need to do according to strategy what's going to help you. So if you've got the money and you correctly plan for it, by all means, make your separate rooms and all of that. If, like in my case, for instance, you went a bit crazy with regards to expeditions and you didn't focus that much on your actual stuff that you have, and that then you're going to need to sit a bit back and then try to fix all of the things that you made wrong. So here's me fixing it, and you'll see my funds have grown like a lot. So a few minutes ago, for instance, you would have seen that I was like in 40,000 there around about. Even in the beginning of the video, for instance, I was like every single month, every single year, or whichever you call it, for instance, as soon as that new tick or the new check comes in, I'm in the red, because of the expenses are more than the actual income. But by doing those certain small tasks, I turned it completely around. Now I'm again up. So it all depends, and you can't also just sit around and not do anything, because the buzz and people are also all about new things. So you need to try to get something new in every single time. So it's a good balance. You need to balance what you do. With regards to, now you'll see also here that I'm doing is that I'm also going to pick a very dark color in order to change the matte there from the purple, because the purple is more with regards to the ghost. And then you'll see there's like a time gate or so in the corner that also needs to be in its separate room, because that is different again than the spooky. So my idea here is that somebody's going to walk in, so it's a one way to go in, and then as soon as they go in, they'll see the ghosts and also all of the spooky and ghosts, for instance, museum stuff, the bed, the hand, and all of that, the toilet and all of that. You'll see, for instance, there's quite nice equipment and all that. Okay. So yeah, this last bit is just to show how I actually changed all of the things around and that. So the first bit of the video was more just to show you, for instance, and to give you a few tips. The last part of the video is more just to show you how I actually just randomly put everything down, and you'll see there's there is, for instance, decorations, there's lights, even the lights that's up there, for instance, counts as decorations. It's part of a decoration. So I'm moving everything out that doesn't belong, and then I'll open the new sections, and you'll also see, for instance, there is still some science that needs to be placed in there. So I'm also keeping room for the science stuff that I'm still going to place in. So at the moment, I'm not actually going on expeditions for the science. The only expeditions that I do go on to is to actually get like iron and gears and all of that type of stuff in order to do it. So there's one specific item that you need in order to, then what you do is you get your plant and you drop your plant inside that specific science thing. It's munch. So when you drop it in there, you get your plant. Your plant, there's like a plant leaf type of thing that you get. Once you get that, that's also needed for some of the equipment. So that's a bit of a tricky one to keep in mind. But once you get it, you're A4 away. There is some others that's also nice because of the level 5 and all of that. So I've completed most of those quests, meaning that once you do go and you can get your instance like gold, and then the other one looks like a crystal or a diamond or so. Those also help you with your science. Okay, so you'll see it's a bit tricky to place some of it, and you'll see there is those gray areas, those gray circles. Those gray circles is with regards to the actual area that you can actually place those in. So you need to be very good with regards to it, and you also need to keep in mind that people needs to move around and needs to look at least okay. And like now, for instance, I'm placing those walls just randomly that I mustn't actually do, but at the moment I'm just in a rush just to get everything correct, because some of those walls are actually was placed close to a specific item that needed it for its actual entertainment, for its actual decoration bonuses and all of that. So I'm going to need to go onto every single item to make sure that the correct decoration, the correct thing is close to it. You'll see some of them are maxed out 5 out of 5. That's perfect. But once again, I'm going to need to go back and see every single one if they're okay. Because I need to do that in order for my 650 buzz, in order to get that achievement. But you'll see that specific one stays the same now, once again, because I need to get all of those up from average to great, from great to epic, from epic to excellent. So the more you actually go out and do expeditions, the higher your level is. So then when you try to do it in a new specific stage, in a new museum, or even in one that you've been already to, you'll then be able to, for instance, make use of that previous expeditions. So that's going to help you, and that's what's helping me also. But some of these things, I haven't actually done it, so that's why I need to do it. But it does cost quite a lot for some of those expeditions. It's like 20,000 each time that you go, and you're going to need to go multiple times. I must say that the new expansions and the new things that they have implemented is very good, because some time back, for instance, if there was, let's say, 3 different things, you are going to need to wait a long time, because you're going to need to be like, let's say, 3 times a few, because every time that you go, you mark up to 100% in order to reach to the next level. And there's a few levels, so all of that counts. So at the end of the day, it's quite a lot of money that you spend in order to get to the excellent. And you will see also, once I move those boards, it's moving closer to this or that, and you'll see also the actual information go up from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 13 to all of that. So that also plays a role. So now you'll see all the sciences with science, all of the ghost is with ghost, and then here I'm going to play some more of the actual with regards to the older like cave and that. Let's actually get the names for all of this. But yeah, just wondering now with regards to the one thing that I wanted to also just indicate is that if there's any tips that you came across, for instance, more than welcome to leave a comment. If you have any tips, any ideas about how I can improve, if you see something that I'm doing wrong, please do leave a comment, please do reach out. All of the comments, all of the tips, everything is always welcome. This is rather new for me to make these type of videos. So if you prefer, for instance, the voiceovers, then please do let me know. If you prefer just plain gaming, for instance, that is no voiceover, let me know. If there's certain things that you want to be covered, for instance, if you want the actual plant museum or the aquarium or that to be covered, for instance, how I reached the 5 stars, if you